What's going on, my beautiful people? Coach Will here. I hope all is well. And in this video, well, by the looks of the title, I'm sure you have a rough idea of what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So we're going to cut right to the chase. If you're new here, be sure to leave a like down below, comment down below on what you'd like to see me go over next, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do the whole thing, man. And even if you aren't new here, be sure to show some love. It really helps the channel grow, so that way I can keep making videos like this for all of you each and every single day. So with that out of the way, we'd get straight into the business. With motivation, it is a temporary feeling. It's a temporary high that you will get, which will ultimately lead to a very hard and disastrous low. And here's why. Let's take, for example, you have a goal that you're working on, maybe a specific project of some sort, right? And let's say, for whatever reason, this project of yours you're extremely passionate about. It is something that you feel that is like, oh my God, I should do this. I need to do this right now. Like, it'll be awesome to get it done. And what happens is, let's say for the first 3 to 4 days, or maybe for the first week to 2, or even a month, you're on a roll, you're on a train, you're killing it, right? You're getting everything that you need to get done for the specific project done. But eventually you come across this hurdle, right? And then within this hurdle, what ends up happening to you is you have to do some sort of tedious or mundane task. At least the task seems tedious or mundane to you, in order to work around this hurdle to then continue on your way towards accomplishing this project of yours or this goal of yours. Well, oftentimes what happens with people when they hit maybe 1, 2, 3, or maybe several different hurdles along the way, they just stop. And when they stop, they become complacent. And then when they become complacent, they just don't want to do it anymore. They lose the motivation, they lose that drive to work towards whatever it is that they're working towards. Now, what would a real example of that look like? Well, let's say you're writing a book, right? Let's say within writing this book, it's something, you're writing the book based on something that you're extremely passionate about. You have the idea, you have the theme, you have a good understanding of like the overall layout of how you want it to be. And then what ends up happening, you don't know how to express yourself articulately enough through literature, and it ends up becoming a whole mess. So what happens at this point? Well, let's say maybe you try to fix it up yourself. Maybe you try to clean up everything. You try to make it look nice, but for whatever reason, it's still not meeting up your standards. Let's say you try to outsource some professionals to possibly help you out editing and grammar and things like that, but for whatever reason, it just seems too rigid to you. It doesn't fit your style. And then eventually all of the culmination of all these things, they just combine together, and it's just like, yeah, nah, I'm good. And you just toss it to the side and you leave it on a back burner for the next 8 to 12 months, where instead what you should have been doing is taking that 8 to 12 months, work out the hurdles, work out all of the inconsistencies with what it is that you're trying to do, and just put in the work for it. But because you became complacent, you didn't get it done, right? And it just stood there. So how do we avoid this? How do we go from being extremely motivated to accomplishing something to then losing that motivation, but to still keep going? And ultimately, the answer lies within how you wire yourself, how you perceive something to be. So I'll give you the perfect example of something that you probably do every single day that you probably don't want to do. You probably have no motivation to do it, but you do it anyway. And that is working at whatever job it is that you're working at. See, let's say for whatever specific job that you have to do, you have to be in the office or do whatever job you have to do at 6 a.m. in the morning, right? Wherever this may be, no matter where you're at. Let's say you got to get it done at 6 a.m., right? Whatever time zone you may be in. If you don't show up on time, what's gonna happen? You could get a write-up, you could get a warning, or worst of all, you could get fired, right? And then what happens if you lose your job? Well, it puts you in this flight or fight scenario where you're scrambling everywhere just to see, is like, oh my God, how the hell am I gonna get a job? How am I gonna pay my bills? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? So it takes drastic measures, or it takes almost survival instinct for you to actually get something done without needing any external motivation. It's like you do it not necessarily because you want to, but because you have to. And now that may be a very almost toxic mindset to have. However, look at it this way. If you truly believe in something, and like whether, especially if this is like a project of yours or something that you really want to work towards, if this is something that you wholeheartedly believe in, this is something that you wholeheartedly feel that you will get value out of, and it'll make you feel good, and maybe let's say the project is something that could potentially help hundreds of thousands of other people, then why wouldn't you feel like you have to do it? But with that being said, I'll leave it at that. Why wouldn't you feel like you have to do something if it's gonna help out not just yourself, but everybody around you? And hell, maybe it doesn't help out anybody at all. Maybe it's just the fact that it gives you personal gratification. Why would you deprive yourself of that personal gratification? Why would you not want to feel what it feels like to succeed? Why wouldn't you want that high, that shot of dopamine from successfully accomplishing whatever it may be that you set out to accomplish, right? Forget the motivation. Don't outsource anything or anyone to like try to bring you up, because ultimately other people will always tell you one thing or another, but ultimately it'll go in one ear and out the other. And at the end of the day, it really comes down to you to put in the work and to put in the action to get whatever it is that you want to get done. And that's that, my beautiful people. So with that being said, if you liked the video, leave a like down below, comment down below on whatever else you would like to see me go over next. Subscribe, turn on post notifications if you are new. And if you aren't new, still show support. Let me know if you like these kind of videos. I plan on making a lot of these in the future, so definitely let me know if there's any specific topics that you would like me to go in depth on. And with that being said, in Will We Trust? Until next time.